here at the Port Royal Speedway and the Weichert Livestock 410 Sprint Car. A main is green.
Green lights are on. It's good start for Dominic Molaire. He had a nose advantage into turn one, still side by side with Hauk, but Dominic Molaire, your race leader.
Molaire will set the early pace. Hauk looks down low. Does he pull a slider? Molaire is there. Close racing off of turn number 4. Will come down to complete lap number 1, and Dominic Molaire is your leader.
Hammaker's going to get a good run off of 2. He's going to make a move here in 3.
Hammaker drives deep in the turns number 3 and 4, slides up in front of Derek Hauk. Hauk points it back down the hill, side by side at the flag stand. Hammaker, he'll shut that bottom side in turn 1, and he'll move up to the runner-up spot.
10 laps to go now on your leader of Dominic Molaire. 7/10 of a second between your top 2. Doug Hammaker showing the cockpit of the 55M. I am right there as they head down the backstretch.
9 laps to go this time by. You can almost throw a blanket over the top 3. They work the top off of turn number 4. Hammaker is there. Molaire, he'll go up high. Hammaker works down low. They're dead even off of turn number 2. They drag race underneath the raised landscaping scoreboard. What does Hammaker do into 3? He'll go up high. Molaire working down low. Also in play, Derek Hauk. Here comes a 1. What a move by Doug Hammaker as he threads the needle to take the lead.
Boy, I didn't think that was coming right then, but Hammaker takes the lead off of turn 4. And Derek Hauk in the 12J said, don't forget about me. He's already got Dominic Molaire to his outside. He's going to go by for second.
Derek Hauk, exactly. Brad Strasser says, hold my beer, watch this, as he will take that runner-up spot away from Dominic Molaire. Now can Hauk, he will tap the guardrail once again in the middle of turns number 1 and 2. Molaire drives back by. However, Hauk has another run in the 3.
All the while, this is allowing Doug Hammaker to start to stretch his lead as they go to battle for that second spot. Hauk slides in front of Molaire. Molaire down the hill. They're side by side for second.
What a close call for the leader, Hammaker. He got sideways. He was all but spinning in the turn 1, trying to get by the lap cars. But what a move. He'll put 2 lap cars in between him and Derek Hauk. Hauk has got to go now. 5 laps to go this time by.
But Hauk can't shake the 55 of Dominic Molaire. Molaire's giving him all he's worth. Hauk grinding the brakes into turns 1 and 2. Cody Lehman trying to get in the mix as well.
And here comes Austin Bishop and Logan Wagner. We got a 5-car battle for the runner-up spot. 4 laps to go. Hammaker really starting to stretch it out in the Sandy Klein-owned J&S Classics 22. He will dispatch of the lap car. Can he do it? A half-mile to go.
This is the one where your heart just starts to race if your car owner Sandy Klein. He's going through turns 1 and 2, down the back straightaway for the final time.
Hammaker hauls it into turns number 3 and 4. And for the final time off of 4, checker flag is out. Doug Hammaker will score his very first 410 victory here at Port Royal Speedway. Second will go to Derek Hauk, and Logan Wagner rounds out the podium.
What is going on? Happy Monday, June 15th, 2026. What's going on? I am Jimmy here with Jay-Z. We are the Turn 2 Terribles. We got a great show planned for you tonight. Brian Leppo is going to join us. We are going to talk about the Steve Smith tribute going on at Lincoln in not next Monday, but the Monday after. We're already getting up to Speed Week here shortly. So coming up quick, a lot of stuff going on. We will also talk about all the racing action this past weekend. You had Clinton County, you had Port, you had Lincoln. Also a couple high limit races and a big win for Brent Marks at Knoxville for the World of Outlaws. Jay-Z, you disappeared. Oh, no, you're back.
I'm back. I'm here.
You're good? You're good? How are you doing tonight?
Good. How's the mic sound now? Am I all right?
You sound great.
Exceptional, sir. Exceptional. That was a mess. 1 week it works. I don't change. I literally don't use this computer, and I come back here today and it doesn't work. So that's great. That's good stuff.
Of course, got to shout out everybody in the chat. We see you guys. Matt Bird, EJ, what's going on? Mandy, Magby, Ant, Brent, Marie, pointing out it's also Eastern Storm Week. So it's kind of like a soft speed week before the actual speed week here. Like lots of racing here for the next couple weeks. And we're going to be talking all about it. But yeah, again, if you have any questions, you have any comments, make sure you throw them in the chat. But let's bring on our guest for this evening, Brian Leppo. Brian, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Happy you guys can have me on here. Like Jeremy fires his computer up and doesn't work. I sit down here and just push go and everything seems to just flow. Rookies.
You're muted. Hold on.
See?
You're muted through the stream.
That's the first I saw the highlights from Port Royal. That was a good race.
Yeah, it was. That's the first time
good.
I got good for Doug for winning there. He's
not happy.
We'll do it live. We hear you now.
Well, you hear me, but it's going to be through the AirPods. I'll just use the microphone as the
fine.
AirPods.
You
The
sound
AirPods
fine.
will be the mic tonight. All right.
You sound fine.
Jesus Christ. Like it said it was there and it muted itself and it was gone. So I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe something's going wrong.
My son was messing with it. That's probably what happened. All right. So welcome in. Thank you for being here. Really do appreciate it. Kind of get off to a weird start, but so I reached out, through on LinkedIn this week, and someone else actually credited our Discord. Some of the folks in here in our chat were said about bringing you on, and I've thought about it now for a while, and I was like, man, you know what? This is the week. This has got to be the week. So they kind of pushed me to reach out, and so thank you for taking the time. And I want to get to the race. Obviously, we want to get to the race because that's really the reason. But I also want to go back in time a little bit because I watched you race in my early mid 20s, and those were some great years at the racetrack. I have so many fond memories of that era of the racing. The cars, the Thunder Car division. Back that was in its heyday.
Yeah. Yep.
That was that era, and there's so many guys from that era that we don't hear from much anymore. And I don't remember hearing much then, all the way through now. And we still see a lot of guys are involved in the sport. They show up every week. We may not see you every week at the racetrack, but you're clearly heavily involved. So I kind of want to go back a little bit because there's some of the story that I don't even know. Tell us a little bit about your family's. Obviously it's a pretty big extended family at this point, I assume, but your family's involvement in racing and kind of how you got started and ended up in a 410.
Yeah, I've been around. I think I started racing go-karts like in 90, 91 through cousins of mine, Harlan and Blaine, and then their grandfather Jake and dad Terry, like got us into go-karts, and it was fun. Didn't really know much about it. Then our friend Bob Hagan used to race. He ran some 358s back in the day. We just kind of worked our way through. Then I had a probe chassis with Barry Lavelsberger for micro sprints, which were fun. I always wanted to race a sprint car. I mean, just because of where we grew up at, but never really thought we'd get that chance. I mean, our grandparents helped us out a lot over the years. We had good sponsors, had good car owners. My family had their own car for years. We hired some good mechanics like Dave Yinks to help us, because kind of accelerate learning. Then worked with Barry Jackson at CJB when he built his cars. Then my father-in-law that been married for 20 years. I was fortunate to have him as my mechanic, the latter part of my career. But we always were, we got in with, I drove for good cars. Like I drove the Apple car with Lee Stauffer. I drove the Zemco car with Tommy. Like we were in good stuff. I mean, Sushi was working on the Keen car. Like we drove, I was fortunate to be in a lot of good cars. And you talk about like not knowing, like there was no social media when we were racing. Like there was really nothing. I think somebody had a Twitter, maybe had like a fan page on Facebook, but it wasn't like now. Like these drivers really market themselves and their race teams well. Like that's kind of where the difference is with I just turned 47, but I mean that's the difference between the 2000s and now. You know what I mean? It definitely is, because that's how I follow along with it, like everybody else does.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's normal to us now. And back then, what we got from drivers was if there was a televised, if we got lucky enough to see and you got to finish and get an interview, or if you remember, like the Lincoln programs would have quotes about the week before, like a short little snippet of a quote about.
Yeah, they were cool.
And that was like the top 5
thing was neat. Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And Ariotto, like he sat and waited for Ariotto to come through. Yeah.
Right. And if you got that newspaper, you got to read about it. So, tell us a little bit about I think everybody kind of knows, you and relates to that black, white, red, and 71 in different variations. So, Tell us a little bit about those years and kind of some fond memories of wherever, at the racetrack and the people and some of the things that you kind of look back on now.
Like when we were younger, it was like we just did it with, like, friends of mine, like, and we kept it at my parents' house, and my grandparents would come like cook for us once or twice a week. Like it was a family thing, you know what I mean? And then, of course, when like your first win is the best, then racing's always fun until you win one, and then like it becomes more of like, well, what's our expectations are so high now, which is why we all do it. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of good, like a lot of good memories. Like you always forget the ones that you should have won. Like we run second at National Open in 2012, I think it was, which was great. You know what I mean? I wish we would have won that. We got Floyd's first win at the Grove when it happened to be a World of Outlaws win, which was great. My first win at the Grove was in the Apple car, which was one that I always thought that it'd be really iconic and cool to drive an Apple car. Like that was one of my favorite cars, and I was fortunate to drive that. Same with the Zemco car. Like that was a one timer, and we were, able to get in and win an all-star race, which it was good. I mean, like father-in-law and I, we were really fast in 2011, won a couple races. Like we won a pretty good race at Grandview, which nobody went to, meaning our family wise. Like he got in the truck with me and my guys because it's on a Tuesday night, and then we drove up there and won, which was fun because he was a professional. You know what I mean? Like that's what he's done his whole life, and he's riding around with us part time, like literally part time, and he adapted to the way we raced, and like it was, yeah. Like I have lots of memories of racing, like for sure. I mean, when I first started racing 410s, I used to call Siegel's dad like every weekend. Like Steve and I, like, was fortunate he would help me when I was younger because we just didn't really know anything. You gotta kind of have somebody help you. But I feel like we've always been blessed having the right people around us. Like my parents gave us a good opportunity to, have a gentleman help us in Mike Rose, Barry Lavelsbury. Then we move up, and then, like I said, really accelerated when we hired Dave Yinks, who had just came off the road from Shots. And like you pay them a amount of money. Like we are still friends to this day, but like when they're at the races, like all like they critique your driving to make you better, not to hurt your feelings, but that's just like, if you want to be competitive and move to the next level, you got to have somebody in there that's not afraid to hurt your feelings. I mean, and all good mechanics aren't afraid to hurt your feelings. I know I kind of jump around when you get to yapping, but like, yeah, I have lots of memories of racing. If I have no bad memories of racing, or I wouldn't want anything to do with it. It's the opposite. Like I said, like now my son is making a living in racing at 20 years old, which is kind of cool. You know what I mean? It's something that I never, thought he would really think about doing because he lives the whole way across the country. He didn't just go like halfway, he's the whole way across the country. But yeah, we love racing. It's a family thing. Like very fortunate that like my wife was raised in a racing family because it's way easier. Her mom's the same way. Like it's all we've ever known. You know what I mean? It's all we've ever known.
So I did look up a couple stats here because I wanted to go back in time a little bit because again, it's been a little while. You had eight wins at Williams Grove, and it looks like 7 at Lincoln, or the opposite. Let me see here: 8 at Lincoln and 7 at Williams Grove. I mean, for the years that you raced, that career isn't super long in a 410, and that's pretty equal. I would say that that's pretty rare for most to not kind of have it edged one over the other. Is there one of those styles that you preferred best? When you're out there and that kind of suited you?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I always thought, and this is coming from Steve, like Lincoln Fred Dramer would say the same thing. Lincoln definitely makes you a better race car driver. Like it's just a whole lot more going on there that, that people say you got to look in front of your bumper. Well, that Lincoln proves that. I always had fun racing Williams Grove, but like Rob Capetta used to build our engines for the most part my whole career. We had some Don Ott stuff, but they always ran. Like even like when I ran some rider engines with some different people like Zemco, that place was cool because like it's just so fast. I mean, even like, but Williams Grove now doesn't get that slick from fence to fence. Like it's a different kind of Grove right now. I feel like when their best night, it's 3/4 of the way up. But back then, like in the 2000s, is like when you could run the middle with a wing in the trunk. Like that's when Shots won all them opens. Like he could just kind of, it just was a whole lot bigger. Like, but Yeah, I don't know. I never really knew what win percentage was at either place, but it doesn't sound like a lot. But I thought we did pretty good for the amount of years that we ran. I always thought we did pretty good. Yeah, it was fun. We did win one at Sewins Grove. I did never win at Port Royal. I mean, I didn't run there a whole lot, but like I said, the new Port Royal I feel is different than the old Port Royal too a little bit. It's way nicer than it ever was. That place is really, really nice.
Yeah, for sure. And the other thing that always stood out to me that I remember, and this is literally off memory, you were always a pretty good time trialer. You were always pretty good at going as fast as you possibly can. And did that come naturally to you, or is that something you had to talk yourself into as you got into the 410?
I don't know. Like I said about having good guys on your side, like that's one thing that, and I reversed the whole way back to 358s. I ran one for one season. Like Steve Siegel was one that kind of really taught me how to time travel, like explained to me the fact of you got to like keep your arms straight. And like Kevin Gobrecht was always a really good time traveler. Like he said, that's the easiest part of the night. There should be no pressure. Like it's kind of wide open and there's a little bit of turning. Like if you have confidence in your car, like it'll turn. But I don't know. Like I give that thanks to like we've always had really good engine programs. I mean, you still do have to drive it, but like I've never been one to say that I'm the guy that could time trial. Like I had good stuff. I mean, like we did have good stuff, and yeah, you do have to do the job, but it is true that is the easiest part of the night. Like, but you just have to believe it's the easiest part of the night. Like that's what
Yeah.
Steve was always giving me credit for. But like I didn't mind it. Like I love time trials because if you were bad, it's my fault. If you were good, it's you guys did good, but I can take the heat. You know what I mean? Like if you went out there and bombed the corner, but it is the easiest part of the night. It really is. But now tell yourself that when you got to go lay down 2 good laps to map the whole night out. It doesn't usually sound that way, but yeah, I always enjoy time trials.
I always thought it was interesting. And like I said, that era, there was a couple guys that really stood out to me when it came to time trialing was Siegel. And, I think yourself and like an Eric Stamball, like that there was a group that just seemed to.
Grimes used to time pretty good too. Yeah. There was a group I was there for a while. Yeah.
For sure. It was super competitive.
Yeah, like I went to Stevens Grove in the 51 car, and that was in 2012 too, I bet. Like we set fast time in CJB's car. Like I drove it one weekend, and that was the easiest car I've ever time trialed fast time. Like I went out there and like I knew we were fast time. Like just because I could tell. Like it just like put you back in the seat, and I'm like, how fast were we? It doesn't normally work that way, but I knew we were going to be because that thing was running. It was like that was when they had Kisslers. And they were fast. They were really fast.
The 71, where did that kind of originate from? Where was that a number you carried all the way through racing? Was that just how did you kind of come to that?
It is like ironic that like my favorite driver growing up was my brother-in-law. Like long before I ever thought he'd be my brother-in-law. Like I was always a Stevie fan. We used to run a 77 when I first started, and then in a go-kart. And then my first micro we got was lettered like the Echo 71, the Echo Water. Well, it was conveniently that's my favorite driver, so that's the car we wanted to buy. Then it kind of stuck, like because he was in that car. Then like Steve was the generation was a little before mine. Like I remember Big Steve running like the 119 a little bit and the 19 a little bit. But I didn't really watch that generation much because we were racing cars. Like I do remember all them guys like Van Tu and Bob, but Stevie was like my guy. Like I had every shirt that I could get, you know what I mean? And then when we got to 71, I just kind of kept it because there was not many 71 sprint cars in our area. And then I kind of liked the number style, what it looked like on a car. Like we drew it up and it looked neat. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what we hung on to. You know what I mean?
Well, we're not going to say too much, but a little birdie told me this week, you're going to see a 71 hit the racetrack again soon. Not necessarily yours,
cool.
But it's going to be interesting that it's going to be a 71 and it's going to look similar to one of your pretty popular paint schemes. So we're not going to disclose who, where, when, or what.
Tell my mom. As long as my mom don't find out, we'll be in good shape.
There you go. So there's a little bit of news for Central Pennsylvania getting ready to happen. I would say the 20th at Lincoln, I think is the day that might debut. I think is the plan right now.
Yeah, 20th.
But a question from the chat actually is interesting from Santos. He said he's always been curious. What brought him the unretirement for a few months in the Apple car? Was that just a phone call that said, "Hey, come drive my car"?
Oh, I do. That's because Lee and I are still friends to this day. Like Lee called me and asked if I want to run, and I was like, you know what, sure, like I will. And we did. I came and ran it at the Grove. It was fun, but like I don't think I missed it enough. But yeah, that I remember that. Like that was in maybe 13 or 14. But yeah, that the reason that happened is because, like I said, like Lee and I are still friends to this day, and it's just like he's too good of a friend to say no. I guess is that what it would boil down to. You know what I mean? Because I knew what he was trying to do. Because he actually did run that a little bit, the couple races with Tim Schaefer, then got in it too. Then that same year, but yeah, I remember that. I got a picture on the wall from it, to be quite honest with you.
The stats show 3 races in 2014. So, but that if I'm doing the math,
oh,
right,
the other okay, I drove.
Go ahead.
I drove the 21 in 14 too, because Monteith was out of town for a wedding. We could have won both races in that car. That thing was fast too.
Oh wow.
Oh, actually, yeah, it says
I
that.
ran
So
at Williams Grove in Lincoln.
3 races,
Yep.
you had 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s in those 3 races.
Yeah, that's this picture up here. That's a 21 right there.
Oh yeah, yep, I see.
Yeah,
it.
I know it is. Yeah.
So so you said you're how old again? Do that. Let me do this math. Because I have a question. You said
47. Just turned 47 on the 6th.
Okay, so 47. Let's take 12 years off of that. 35 years old. You call it quits. Other than those 3 races in 24. So let's even say 34 years old. Hey, I'm gone. What led to that? What kind of happened? And
it wasn't really like that. But no, so like I have a daughter who's 26. She's actually a sheriff of Carroll County, Maryland. But back then she would have been in high school and she chased basketball, and we chased it religiously. Like she played AAU basketball, which, we went and complained back then, but I knew there'd be a time when we would miss it. But yeah, we went everywhere, traveled for basketball, and my son was playing a little bit of baseball, a little bit of basketball, but and I knew she was going to play in college. And I know the sports, the seasons are different, but when you play AAU basketball, that's all summer,
all year.
It wasn't an easy thing. It wasn't an easy thing to decide to do, but I didn't really want to miss that. And I mean, I always had a day job. People think all race car drivers, some work, some don't. I always worked. I always had a job, and my race team always had a job. We'd vacation around work, and so that's kind of how it went down. I mean, my kids were at an age where I didn't my parents weren't selfish, and I wasn't about to be either. You know what I mean? And trust me, I do miss racing. I did miss it then, but I was not enough to go do it. Now, I do look back now and think where I could have maybe been if I would have stuck it out, but I don't have any regrets. I would do it all over the same as I did. You know what I mean? Because to miss out on that stuff. And I respect people that I could have got away with it. I could have got away with racing first and basketball second, because like I said, I'm lucky to have a wife that's raised in it. But for me, I chose what I thought was right for me. And I would stick to that decision to today. You know what I mean?
For sure. No, totally get it. I don't drive, and I still have those things sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going this weekend. I'm going to go and do that thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, at a very very different level.
To drive cars. I just told car owners, after I made my mind up, Tommy, for instance, was after me for a while. When we're buddies, I said, it's not right for me to come drive your car if I'm going to come there and half-ass it, or even in my mind thinking, well, I don't know, what time are we going to be out of here? Because I got to get up early tomorrow. That's just not fair. That's not the kind of guy that I am. You know what I mean?
So if somebody, you still have a lot of connections to the world, and listen, this has probably happened over the last 10, 12 years. And now you said your kids are kind of doing their thing. They've flown the coop a little, and someone calls you and says, hey, I'm taking a car to BAPS this week. You want to run a few laps? Do you still have a helmet and a suit? Would you run a few laps?
I can fit in lots of people's seats. I'm no bigger than I was when I stopped. I don't think.
Yeah, Tyler
there you go.
Even said the internet broke when he warmed up Dylan Norris's car years ago.
I can definitely warm up some cars. Yeah, I definitely can.
Warm them up. We can warm up with the best of them.
I probably would run laps. I probably would run laps. We joke about it every once in a while, but I'd be honest with you. and I don't like saying kids, but they're of all ages. Like everybody's younger than us now. I mean, me. These kids definitely drive different than we did. Like even like I'll use Brent for example because like you're like we're all like he's from here and I know why he's 19, which is why we're all fans. But like he's adapted to drive harder because you have to like because if you don't, you're going to get ran over. I'm not saying there's disrespect on the racetrack. I just say these guys race harder than. I feel like they race harder than we did. Like they'll lean on cars more than we did when I raced. Like I think that's where I would have a struggle. Like to be quite honest with you, I think that's to be the hardest thing for me. Is I'm just not used to leaning on people racing. Wasn't how we did it, I guess.
So do you see like
people are definitely going to think we're racing the 71 on the 20th?
I know they think it has everything to do with you. And actually, Santos, from what I was told and shown, it actually doesn't have anything to do with Brian or his previous cars. It just the story, nobody would actually believe me. The where I saw it, how I saw it, and who I saw it with. If I told that story, everyone would think it has everything to do with you, Brian. Right? I think everybody would be completely convinced because when it all comes out, everybody will understand it for sure. But wow, we flashed out and back. Okay, so the question I have is, you're going to the racetrack. I know you've been there some, and you watch. You talked about kind of the driving style of the kids and the people today versus kind of what you did. Do you look at these cars? Has there ever been a time where you look at them and go, holy shit, they look fast? Whereas maybe when you were a driver, you were going, hey, I'm out there doing that. That just looks like race cars. Did you kind of lose that and go, man, they look like they're crazy?
Yeah, like the speed, you don't mind when you're racing them. Like you definitely don't. But like, yeah, when I go to the races now, I think they just look so much faster than they did before. And I remember my father-in-law telling me how they're faster now than they were when he raced. Well, in my opinion, it continues. I know it's weird when you look at the lap times. Like you look at track records on some of these places, like they're 5 years or maybe even longer. So that goes to show you they were going faster back then time-wise, but I still think they go faster now. They're just heavier. Just the times are slower. Does that make sense?
For 100%.
You know what I mean?
Hell, I do it every February. We get to the icebreaker, and I'm like, holy shit, these cars are fast. Like, after not seeing them for a few months, and I stand in the front stretch at Lincoln or something, and I'm like, God, holy hell, they get down there straight away fast.
Yeah. Yep.
As the season goes on, I'm watching a different way, but like, I don't watch them for a while, and I come back, and I'm like, man, they're nuts. How do they even know what the hell is happening that fast? But, all right.
They are nuts.
Let's get to why you're really here. Thank you for those stories, though, for sure, because there's some things I didn't know. Let's talk about this Steve Smith race coming up. The Steve Smith tribute is what we're calling it, right? And the big thing here,
it's the final Steve Smith tribute race. Yep.
The final, and the biggest question that, and I don't want to. I wanted to ask this because I don't know. I think I know. But the biggest question I've seen around the internet is, why is it the last one? And it kind of started.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, so it's the 5th year since Steve has passed, and I'm like anyone who knows my father-in-law or my father-in-law's side of the family, I mean Steve in particular, even Stevie, like Steve's very private life. Like he didn't want any accolades for anything. Like he didn't go to the Hall of Fame. It's just not it's not how Steve was. Like he felt like his job was to work hard at the racetrack, go win races, pack up and go home. Now he was good with the fans, but as far as it goes, as for this race, he probably wouldn't have been too happy that we even had the first one, to be quite honest with you, because it's just not what he would want his name on it. So I'll fast forward to this one. I know what we did with this one is something he would approve of. Does that make sense? Like he would back this race and support this race 100%, as long as it wasn't called the Steve Smith tribute race. He would rather it be called something else, but it's not. Like that's what it's going to be called, because it is for him. But he would appreciate like this race, because him and my brother-in-law, like they always said, and Steve would like said it religiously. Like I laughed because there's a picture. I'll use this story. Like there's a picture of him I have from Grandview. He's got like a nice size check. He won the first ever Thunder on the Hill, and it paid $5,000. He's smiling from ear to ear. And I looked at it, and he would laugh because I have a check hanging on my wall. It's 4 times as big with the same amount on it. And he's like, that's the problem. Like, you and I ran for the same amount of money. He said, I guarantee an engine I built was probably 20,000, where ours is 4 times that.
Yeah.
And we ran for the same amount of money. So what I was getting at is, like, yeah, he would approve of a race with this kind of value, a purse it's 100% race team driven. And then I should say 75%. And then maybe I shouldn't say that it's 100% race team driven. And we definitely are 100% fan driven too. Like, it's 2 things we kind of combined to make it more of an event than not a race. Like, he would 100% approve of the tribute race and the format and the money that is being put into it. He wouldn't want his name on it though.
So, there's a lot here. There's a lot happening. I've seen a lot of the posts and rundowns, and I know you had a list. You have a list prepared of the sponsors who've helped this deal out. Before we get to that, tell us a little bit about the payout structure, some of the things you're doing with the fans, and other things you're doing with the teams as far as giving back in a sense.
Yeah, and if I keep rambling, just stop me and ask me a question, because
this is you.
I'm obviously motivated on it. Like, it's something like we are proud of. Like, so when it's set out, it was 40,000 to win, and then I thought it was 40,019 is cool. And then we got to looking at, like, I wanted it to be 1,900 to start or somewhere around it, because the 19 has to be in there. The first year I didn't really want to change this because, like, my 5th place number was 6619 for the Fletcher car. Then we kind of worked around, and you mentioned sponsors. Like, I have notes here, like, I'm prepared. We have sponsors. We have over 70 sponsors. Like, we have wild. My brother-in-law's the presenting sponsor from Schmuck Lumber, and then we have associate sponsors from Australia. We have sponsor from California. We have a Speedway in Houston. We have My Work, which does excavating. We have tattoo artists on here. We have race teams on here. We have heavy equipment. We have truck sales, bars, golf courses. We have, like, our sponsor list. We have lawn care guys on here. We have people that are involved with racing, people that aren't involved with racing. Like, it's unbelievable what it has become. But so the purse is the largest that Lincoln's ever had in the history of the Speedway. And, like, Jimmy and I were talking, most people know. So my wife's side of the family, like, her father or her grandfather, Hilly Rife, and my brother-in-law, Landon, who owns Schmuck, like, their grandfathers who built Lincoln Speedway. So for us to have this race at Lincoln Speedway, which I know that, like, we're friends with the management, the ownership there now, but all of us thought it was great because it's a huge draw for Lincoln. Like, they can, a place that means so much to us. Like, I have a banner back, like, and then back to my father-in-law, he beat the Outlaws there the first 3 or 4 times they were ever there. So it has to be at Lincoln. The purse is over 188,000 for the A main, over 158,000 for the A main alone. Then B main money, it's over $188,000. Like, it's a lot of money. It's 19 to take the green, and then jumping around. So I had a lot of momentum going with sponsors because I said to my wife, I hadn't been told no by anybody. Like, the first 30 or 40 people I reached out to, and then I had 1 or 2 people, like, him haul around, like 1 or 2 had said no. I was like, that just motivated me more to try to, like, open up the door to people that not your usual sponsors, like friends of mine. Like, I know what they do for businesses. I know they might be able to get something out of it. I know they also would like to be involved because of what it's going towards. Like, 100% of the money that we, like, I don't want to know if it's got raised or got, like, we didn't really raise it. Like, it was donated, like, sponsored, supported us. It's it's going back to the event. Like I said, it's not just a race anymore. Like, there's so much going on. Then we were able to bump the purse up over $20,000 the week of the Outlaws is when we announced it. That's what made it a 50,019 race. It's still 22,019 to run second. A fifth place car can have 76.19. 10th is 4,319. Like I said, it's 1919 to start. Like when I raced a weekly race, you had to run third to get $1,500. So like we definitely went above and beyond on the purse, but I like the purse. I think the purse is fair. I think a guy who comes there realistically, like, because I've been there, like I'm looking at this purse thinking, I don't know if we can go there and like compete for 50,000 just because I know the caliber of the cars that we're competing with, but I really think we can go there and try to run top 10, and that's $4,000. Like, I think we can go there and make 4,000. It's a lot of things in this race that people didn't realize until they started reading it more. And like I said, if you wanted me to stop, just give me a wave, because like the one thing that we're really proud of is Steve's nephews, the Hetzel family, like Brent and Dylan. They came up with an idea. He wanted to give a large sum of money to one particular driver, like, and this to me is unbelievable, because you'll get to thinking how a race team would think. So it's called a Bandit Challenge, and it pays $6,619. And so the guy that starts on the pole, you earn the right to start on the pole. You know what I mean? Then if you take the challenge, you give up your starting spot, you start 19th. You automatically get $6,619. Wherever you finish, you also collect that money too.
Pretty
Which
good deal.
means if somebody starts 19th and passes, let's just say you start 19th, run up through to about 16th, that's 27.19. You can make almost $10,000 to not even be close to the top 10 at the race.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Like, I brought that up to some outlaw teams. I brought that up to some local teams. I brought that up to some like heavy hitter local teams. Like, if the pole sitter don't take it, it goes to second. If second don't take it, it goes to third, goes to fourth. Like, someone is going to leave there with a large amount of money, and they don't have to win the race. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty neat. That's one of the huge perks of the race. I think is kind of cool.
One thing I've really been, I wasn't sure if I always felt this way, but I've really kind of changed my mind on this, is the big winner's purse versus spreading it out through the field more.
Yep.
And I don't think it needs to be obviously completely equal through the field. This is a meritocracy, right? You earn it. You go win the race. You deserve to win the most money. But in your case, you're doing that with a $50,000 to win winner's like share. Like, this is unbelievable in the world of sprint car racing. Now, the only thing that rivals it, and I listened to a podcast the other day, and it makes sense. When I say rivals it, I'm not comparing this to Knoxville, but Knoxville. Knoxville is funny. They don't really ever tell you how much the winner makes in this race until they like say it. It's not advertised.
Yeah.
It says the total purse is $1 million or something, or whatever the number is.
Yep.
And
I wanted our purse to be out there pretty early. Like, you talk about the money. If you don't qualify, like if you run third in a B main, you can get 15.19. Like, that's to go dead last in a B. Like, if it's a 20 car B, you get $519. Like, it's a good payout. Like I said, the total purse it's over 188,000. The A main purse is 159,000, and B main purse alone is almost $15,000 for a B main.
That's
man,
awesome.
It's unbelievable.
It's pretty cool.
This has it all, right? It has the $50,000 win, and that person's going to be really happy. But even the top 10, 12, 15 cars are going to be like so thankful.
There's a lot of good teams that will, and so. The cool part that I like about the Bandit Challenge and the way this format's going to go, when I say format, I mean just the format of the night. It's still going to be a 30 or 35 lapper. It's not going to be a 50 lapper, because I just don't agree with that. Like, that's not what our guys run. We run a standard race. You know what I mean? That you can pass cars and win in a 40 lapper. You know what I mean? Or 35, whatever we decide to do. But it's not going to be 50. Nothing like that. But all the drivers are going to get called to the front stretch. Like we used to do for the Kenny Weld, like before the A. Like, if it is one division, I don't want it to be drawn out, but I think my mind it's going to work. Like, they can have everybody out there, they can spritz the track and do some air, and hate using Danny as an example, but I always like to, because he's the most outspoken one of our drivers. Like, I think a guy like him can get persuaded by the crowd to either take the challenge to get people cheering him or booing him and him playing into it. Like, I just feel like a guy like him is why I want to front stretch the drivers, because when I was a kid, the fans were like begging you to look at them when you were, I mean, like even before you fire up. So I think that's a pretty big win for the fans. Like, I think that's kind of cool. But since we're on the driver thing quick, there's over $20,000 worth of prizes that aren't cash that the race teams have are going after. Like, for instance, the Fast Time Award, which a friend of mine from Tri-Build, Adam Lawrence, has put up, it's $1,019 to set fast time. Like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know it's a lot of luck involved, but it's still a lot of money. Like, same with the hard charger. We have a Burrow Max that's going to be lettered up with, like, kind of resemble your shirt. It's going to have like Steve's artwork on it. It's going to be a Bandit heart. It's going to be the hard charger. Like, it's a $2,000 motorcycle.
Hold on, you're giving away a $2,000 Burrow Max with a scheme of this on it for hard charger?
Oh yeah,
that is awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. If there's a custom Hellraiser jack that a gentleman out of North Carolina builds NASCAR jacks, Tim Sheets. He did one for the Dome race for Scott Bloomquist a couple years ago after he passed away. It's going to be a Bandit themed jack that it's going to be a hard earned award. Like, a driver's going to get that that's a $2,000 jack. My brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, Nikki at Smith Tie, they're giving away complete Smith Tie front axle assemblies. That's basically $2,200, 4 of them. Each heat winner's getting one.
Wow.
And if you don't run a Smith Tie front axle, or you don't run their product, they're going to give you the credit to go to, spend something with them that you will. Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll keep going down through here. JST Enterprises, they make the new engine heaters. There's a custom Bandit engine heater that has all Stevie's titanium hardware, has Brown and Miller hoses on it. They have it wrapped up with resembles the shirt, has the Bandit logos on. That's a $2,000 engine heater. Like, somebody's going to win that. One of the ones that I was always pretty jacked up with since we were decided to have a big race, mechanic of the race, crew chief of the race, that they're going to get $1,019 cash and a one-of-a-kind award that Aaron Long from AL Driveline had built, which we're going to put a picture of it. All these things will have a picture posted over the next couple weeks. I don't want to show everybody everything at once. I just want to, we'll build it up over the next 2 weeks so we have everybody can get a little bit of excitement. But the engine heater is badass. The jack's badass. So the mechanic of the race award, on top of the 1,019, if that crew chief is running an AL drive shaft, they get an extra $1,000. That means a crew chief can make $2,019.
Wow.
Which I like that because, like I said, I was a Steve Smith fan as a driver, but he was my mechanic. So the mechanic of the race thing was something that I thought was kind of cool. You know what I mean?
That's a lot of beers for the
Don Ott Racing Engines. Oh, yeah. So Don Ott Racing Engines, they're doing 2019 to one of their customers. Ryder's doing 2019 to one of their customers, the highest finishing customer. Then at Swope Salvage that used to own my car, Sonia and her sister Sharon, they're giving away 6 right rears. Like, that's what the race teams are getting. Plus, each car's getting in for free with a pit pass compliments of Lincoln Speedway.
Wow.
That's what that's the driver's side. I think I hit them all on the head there. Like, there's a lot up for grabs for the race teams, and we have some other stuff planned for them that, again, we may not announce because some things just don't need to be announced. Like, we're going to take care of some things, I think, for some drivers that I think would be appreciated, but local drivers, if drivers come in, but it's like I said, it's 100% motivated for the race team. The Bandit Challenge alone has, like, I talked to Bernie with Parker Price Miller the other day. When I brought up that challenge, like, it does only go to one car. Like, one car is offered it, but that one car can leave there with a lot of money, and like I said, to get 10 grand, you got to run third. You know what I mean? So you could take that challenge and leave. Then, and again, if you collect any of this other stuff I said about, like, you can leave there happy, like, be satisfied. I know, like I said, I've raced these cars in the past, and I always left the races happy, like, because I was doing something I thought was great, but it's very expensive. Like, even like we can get to the stuff for the fans. We have some stuff going for the fans too that is going to be good, because we know that it's expensive to get into the races. Like, I don't care. It's Baps did the 5 hours. That was awesome. Like, it's an eye opener. I don't own racetracks. Like, I think it is expensive to get in racetracks. Not going to everywhere, in my opinion, is expensive. It is. So if we can make this one race happier for the people who do choose to attend, that's kind of like the shirt you're wearing. We decided to sell them Bandit shirts for $19 because you can't get a race car shirt for $19. Like, there's good drivers. Like,
good looking shirts.
It just doesn't happen. You're going to find one from 25 to 35, and that's just kind of the way it is. And I told my mother-in-law, like, and my wife, like, when we showed up for the first race of the year, the first tribute race, it seemed like everywhere we looked there was a Steve shirt, like a new one that we had out. So we didn't get them made the second year, but this is the last one. I think we show up to that racetrack. Like, she sold so many shirts. Like, Jeremy drove the whole way to New Oxford to get one. So, like, they're everywhere. Yeah, I mean, she shipped them out. There's people up there. Like, I don't know. She's sold over 300, almost probably 400 shirts. That means that's many shirts are going to be in the stands. And we still have more to go. We're going to have to order some. I just, that was satisfying as a family member when we came there to see all that. Like, it was really neat. Like, we have Bandit stickers to put on the cars, like, this year. Again, like, wing stickers. Like, that's what, like, the satisfying part for me personally, like, to see everybody, show respect to what the race is for. You know what I mean? Like, the goal was to put something together for Joanne and Stevie that Steve would be proud of. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of things in there that are unbelievable, but the wing stickers, the stickers for the cars, are there extra stickers out there that can be purchased?
Yep. So we didn't show them yet. And somebody just wrote in here. Oh, Todd wrote that Kendall's the one that does our artwork. He's one from R&R. He does a great job from R&R. Does a real good job. So the stickers, yeah, we'll put them out. They resemble, I tell you, they resemble the shirt front. It's the Bandit. Yep, without the stripes behind it. It's just going to be the Bandit with the guns, and we'll have them for sale. They're actually that chop. Yep, Brandon Rain was going to be making them for us, and then
nice.
The cars, I'm not showing them just yet because we have a couple different ones. Like, Troy has a two-time champion one because he's won it. Then Little Freddie and Danny, they have a one-time. I'll post them here over the next couple days because I thought that was kind of cool to set those 3 cars aside from the others. But yeah, there'll be some stickers for sale up there with my wife up there on the 29th for sure. Yep, we'll have some tribute logo stickers, and there'll be plenty. You know what I mean? And if we were to run out, we can. I think we'll be good. But yeah, there'll be plenty of stuff up there.
So what date is this race?
It's on the 29th of June. It's the Monday Speed Week.
That's what I was telling people. It's the Monday race, not the Saturday race.
It's the Monday race. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Which, think about that, right? Like, and Speed Week has had a minimum winner's share. Like last year, it was like, hey, minimum to win. And a lot of the bigger shows that paid out were the weekend shows, the Mitch Smith, right? The Friday night, whatever the biggest one was. They're still big, but this is a Monday night race, the Speed Week, not the end of Speed Week, not the beginning of Speed Week, the middle of Speed Week on a Monday night, paying $50,000 to win. That's unbelievable. It's just awesome. I love it. I love everything about it.
And the way I looked at it, like Speed Week, you got to have Speed Week because, like I said, my father-in-law and my brother-in-law, they were both Speed Week champions. I unfortunately never was, but it has, like, if we were doing the last one, it needed to be a Speed Week, like, just because Speed Week's cool. Like, it's got a lot of dedicated fans that still go to Speedweek races. Like they schedule their vacation to go to Speedweek every night. So I thought that was probably a good pick. I think the fans, it's going to be hit and miss. Like I think it should be full, but streaming changes that, and obviously people do have to get up and go to work. But hopefully the plan is they can run an efficient program over there, one division, everybody in there. I would hope the race can be over at 10 o'clock, and then we can hang out. You know what I mean? Because I obviously took off work on Tuesday and Monday because, I mean, why not, right? But yeah, it should be good. And I can, like I said, we're talking about the fans thing. We have some good stuff for the fans too. You know, I mean, I mentioned the T-shirts. It's still a choice to buy a $19 T-shirt, but I think that it's an attractive price. I think fans are going to purchase a shirt for the price because they turned out really well, and it's supporting a pretty badass event. I know the race will be well, but I mean, it's the event itself turned into something that's, every fan that goes there is going to be proud to be in attendance because I mean, like I said, Steve he's arguably one of the best that's ever been at Lincoln Speedway. I mean, I don't have to say that. People that have grown up in racing know that, you know what I mean? So to be there for his final large tribute race, I think it's going to be pretty special. But like we had a release come out, Lincoln Speedway is doing 119 general admission tickets that we're going to be handing out randomly in the lines to get in. It's a kind gesture. I mean, like there's going to be 119 people that get to go to the races for free that night. You know what I mean? And again, I think it's great because it's expensive. I mean, let's face it, like to take a family to go to the races, it's expensive.
Yeah.
We're also, they're going to be giving away 357 hot dogs, 119 to the grandstands, 119 to the infield, and 119 to the pit area. It's like I said, the gesture goes a long way because it does. You know what I mean? We have some stuff up here that Pat Brewer has some really badass Bandit cups, which you might have saw one. Has
I might
Steve's
have
signature on the one side. They're very, very cool. Like there's 119 of those things that over 119 are given out at the T-shirt table. A friend of mine, Travis, and his wife Mandy from Phil Pools, they went and bought a T-shirt cannon, like the gun. They didn't rent it; they bought one. They're going to be shooting 119 Bandit Phil Pool shirts into the stands throughout the night. Like 19's cool, but like 119 is just 100 times cooler, right? Like they're going to be shooting them throughout the night. The Rife Racing has 119 calendars we're going to be giving away. Ashley Capetta at Racing Through Times, I think she has these pretty cool Bandit bags, like a drawstring bag with Steve's number and signature on with her logo. That they're very cool, and I think she got some even like temporary tattoos are kind of neat. Mark Martin Motors, there's lots of cool things with that deal at this race. Like, so Bobby he's an associate sponsor of the race. So they're going to be bringing, they sell some pretty badass trucks over in Ephrata. But they also, Logan Schuhart's going to be competing and has a fully wrapped Mark Martin Motors car. It's got the camo on and the orange. Like it's very neat that but they'll have nice trucks there. That Woods CRW, there's going to be a heavy piece of equipment, like construction equipment, that they're going to bring down for the kids and families to see. Like it's bigger than, like I said, that's why I say we pushed it past a race. You know what I mean? Like it definitely is. The golf club over there at Bridges, like we have gift certificates from them and Green Horizon to give away, which is kind of neat. Friends of ours that from B&E Custom Sprints, they build custom diecast cars. So Corey and his friend, they're doing a custom Bandit, a Steve Smith car. And then with what's going to happen is you're going to be able to buy a 50-50 ticket. You'll buy one for the 50-50, and if you want a chance to win the car, you buy another 50-50 ticket. If you win the car, you also get a family 4-pack of tickets to get into a future race at Lincoln Speedway from Corey and his guys. That's cool.
Wow.
I want,
you know what I mean?
I want
so
the
like
car.
If you go there
I want that car.
If you buy 2 50-50 tickets, you can win the 50-50 plus the car and a family 4-pass. Like you'll have 4 tickets to get into a future race, which I just think I think that's pretty, like it's pretty neat. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It's a lot of really, really, really cool things. Like, and I think we have some, like I said, some more things going fan related, but it has been a lot of work. But like people say about how much work it is, to me, it hasn't been like, I'll still go do my job. Like this is an honor to put it on, and I'm not saying it's fun, but like I had a damn good time doing it. Like the whole way down from like, I hate nagging people for money, but it wasn't hard because when they understood what this was going towards they're all in. Like they see the money they gave on paper, like where it went, and like this extra stuff that we went and did above and beyond what we told them we would do. We did everything we could. Like, we're gonna have trophy girls and everything. Like, it's legit. Like, we got badass trophies that came from Roger and Brandy out in Oklahoma. They actually build the boxes for my brother-in-law at Smith Tide. But like, these trophies are something that I would have only ever dreamed of winning. Like, it's cool. And like, I go back to the trophy girls. Like, we have trophy girls, like real trophy girls. Like, I've had one race my whole career and had a trophy girl. Like, what more could you ask for? You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
There's a lot of fired up fans in the chat about this. You're getting people all riled up. In a good way.
That's the plan. That's why when you asked me to come on, I was like, sure, this is easy for me to talk about. I've been doing it for months. I love it.
Like, you had me at diecast, and then you said trophy girls. Like, I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's a win, right? Yeah.
I listen. This is a real thing, because I have to ask it. The Monday show at Lincoln has not had a great recent history with weather. What are the contingency plans? What are the conversations with weather if something were to happen?
Next question.
Okay, sounds good. Because listen,
we're not going to see any of that.
No, there's 100% a rain date for sure. It definitely is. Like, that's yeah. We'll get it taken care of.
It's hard, right?
There's a plan. Like, there is a plan in effect.
These shows are tough. Ashley Capetta went through it the last couple of years with the Sterner, and it sucks, but it's a real thing.
Like that. We'll get it. Yeah, it'll be ran. Yep, it'll be ran in a timely fashion. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Perfect. Yep. Jimmy, some of the questions you had that you've been gathering up, what do you got from the fans, if there were any? I wasn't really following along.
There's just a lot of not necessarily questions, just a lot of positivity about everything. You know, like, here's one from Dr. Wood here. These are the promotional races I love the most. Have fun with the format, put some drama into it, and send the most people you can home with extra money or parts. You know, that's great for the racers for sure. And then everything that you're doing with the fans are really fired up about it. Some people taking off of work for it now. Let's go.
That was the goal. I wanted to, like I said, there's things that, like, when I used to go to the races, what I thought was cool, and then when I raced the short amount of time that I did, I thought was cool. And like, I look back and see some old pictures that going through stuff with Steve, and like, them guys were smiling. Like, their smiles were pure. Like, they worked their ass off, and like, to win, and with what they had and what they were dealt. Like, I could look at a guy like Anthony Macri, like when he won his big race out at Eldora, like his smile was as pure as what I remember, like seeing my father-in-law's in old pictures. Like, that's like, I think you realize you make a pinnacle when you win something like that. You know what I mean? But the goal was to drive this thing up to be something that could be as big as we could get it within reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to go out and make 100,000 to win race, but I just feel that this purse is something that we stood by from the beginning, and we kind of were like, Joanne and I joked last year when we walked out of the races about, we'll do this one more time and we'll have a 50,000 race. And I'm like, ain't no way in hell we're going to get a 50,000 race. But that was always the plan in my mind, was to get there. Only if we could do it what I thought was nice. And when we, like I said, when we changed the top 10, I thought we did well. Like, we did good. We did something that we should all be able to sit back and be satisfied with. Like, I can rattle off these sponsors. Like, I hope people take time, like, to read at least one release that Jeremy Elliott puts out in Sprint Car Unlimited, so you can see, like I said, there's so many, a variety of sponsors from, like I said, the sponsors and where they came from and what they do on a day-to-day basis. Like I said, there's body shops, there's restaurants, there's fuel trucks, or anything you can think of, like literally anything you could think of on here.
Well, go
is
ahead.
on here. Like it's
Go ahead and do it.
it's
There
pretty crazy.
weren't any other questions from the fans.
Oh no, we don't. I don't need no.
There's over 70 of them. That's quite a bit.
There's so like it's over 70 sponsors. I just like hopefully everybody like takes time. Like I said, just read one and like Lincoln's they'll do a good job for us. They'll make sure everybody gets announced and they'll see them all. But like it's a hell of a list of people. Like and I go back to we go back to the Bandit Challenge thing. Like you're gonna see some press releases come out about maybe 3 or 4 of them before official ones like that Jeremy would do for us. It's going to be a very fan-based one. It's going to give a rundown of like what the fans are getting in one. It's going to give you a whole rundown of what we talked about, the purse and who's getting stuff and all that. And then a sponsor one. And then from there, like I don't have Facebook, but like I have Twitter, but like I just kind of, I'll keep filling that up. And I know I have enough followers like yourself that share it because like people see, like we talked about the stickers for the cars. I'm kind of saving that for like a plug that I want to put out there. So like those 3 drivers should feel like, yeah, like, look, I won this race before. Like theirs is a little bit bigger and theirs is a little bit different, but they did win the race before. Like it's just little stuff like that I think's kind of neat. Like, you know, like I said, my mother-in-law, she just sits back and rides it out. Like she enjoys it. Like she doesn't have left me kind of do what I wanted to do with it. And I run some stuff by her, make sure she's good. And the rest, we just keep going forward.
The somebody did just ask you, will there be a Smith 19 car there to show?
So no one has asked us, like, so the first year Tanner was in Aaron Long's car and did that one that Stevie actually hot lapped in.
Yeah.
I don't like, I have to be honest with you. I don't think so. Because if somebody does, it's going to be a surprise to our family. But I don't think so. Like we talked about, like, you know how they used to like wrap the wings at the Williams Grove for like the adoption kids back in the day. We talked about doing that for like 5 or 6 cars. But what came with that was like I ran into a kind of a roadblock because nowadays most cars run 2 wings. And if you're going to approach somebody, you really need to give them 4 sets of panels. Well, I thought it'd be better just to take that money and fill it in here and do something that, you know, that everybody can, you know, I thought it would have been pretty badass, but yeah, we chose to do it another route. But
well, I even think,
no, I don't think,
I think they're even saying like a show car. Is there a restored show car or
so I don't think so. So last year, we had one of Stevie's cars, a friend of ours that actually bought that from Indiana. He bought that at the auction and fully assembled it and brought it back. There won't be a 19 car there. No, okay. But I'm pretty sure that Ben Cook might be working on a Ben Cook car that Steve drove that's fully refurbished and fully restored. I think he might be bringing that there, but no, I don't know of any complete Steve cars around. You know, I don't. No one's. I know some people have projects they're working on, but I don't know of any that are done.
Fair enough. What was the other thing here? You know, Eric Showers must be a friend or a fan of yours because he seems to think you and Danny Dietrich are best friends, and he also wants you and Jim Siegel to have an autograph session before this race. So.
Well, I used to work with, so Siegel works with Eric. He's a good friend of ours. He's a hell of a nice guy. Yeah, we won't, if he wants an autograph, I mean, we can definitely charge him, but I mean, like if other fans want him, we'll sign him for free all day long, for sure.
So, you talked about your son real briefly, just to kind of get away from this. There were some questions and confusion in the chat. I know your son is Lawton, and he's out on the road. And what's that been like for you? Because he's not like a grown up. He's an adult, but that's a young man out there on the road. Like, has that been kind of difficult for you, or has that been like, hey man, you're not eating my food, beat it?
Yeah, it's I don't know, like it's a double-edged sword. Like mom, when we talked to him minimum twice a day. Like I actually just talked to him before we hopped on there because they're in 3 hours behind us right now. They race tonight. He's 20. He has a CDL, which he busted. He studied for his CDL and actually got that with Bob Howard before he went on the road with Tanner. Tanner's married to Shaylee Thorson. So when he got that, he studied more for that CDL than he did in schoolwork his whole 12 years because it's something that he wanted.
Yeah.
So, but I tell you what makes it easy for us is the group that he's with. Like Shane Bowers is actually from Pennsylvania. I mean, most people know he's from here. I've known Shane for many years. Shane's out there with a wife and a family. Jason's out there with his livelihood, his wife, family. Preston from Four Seasons, and then HP is who our son lives with. HP treats Lawton like he's his own. Like we couldn't ask for like a better situation. Like for him, it's those guys. Like he goes to, like when they're not racing, he goes to work a normal job. Like they're at the shop, and Shane's is religious with it. They're at the shop 8 o'clock, and they work until 5. Sometimes they leave at 4. Sometimes they leave at 6. But like that's what they do. It's like they go to work there. I think Shane likes Lawton there when they're on the road together because I think Shane can act like a 20-year-old if he wants to, but he's also the adult there, and like I think it's a good mixture. But it's I think that's what makes it easy. Like when I talk to him, I kind of go right to like, how's work? Like how's the mechanics of the car? Like where mom is hounding him, did you eat? Did you drink enough water? Laundry this, like it is difficult. Like it's difficult. We don't seem as much as we wish we did, but like I'm not really jealous of him, a little envious of him a little bit. Like I wasn't good enough to drive on the road, and B, I never had the opportunity to work on the road. Like, so he's doing everything that my father-in-law and my brother-in-law did for their livelihood. And like Stevie just thinks it's the greatest thing, like that he's getting a chance to do that at such a young age with such an organization that like Jason runs it. It's a business. Like they race. It's not like it used to be. It's not race, party, race. Like there's too much money involved with these race teams now. Like it's a full, like it's a job. Like they go there to race. Like that he's having a good time with Jet. Like when Corey can run, like they know they're competing for wins. Like I don't know. Like we're very happy that he, chose to do this. Like I'm a little afraid it's probably going to be his whole life, which I don't mean that in a bad way. Like if that's what he chooses, we're thankful for it. Like it is a livelihood out there. We just need to, like, our lives have to reflect how we're going to do this, like navigating forward, because if this is what you choose to do, visiting times, like we have to pick and choose. Like, cause like I said, our daughter is a sheriff here at Carroll County, Maryland, has a place with that she's with her and her girlfriend. They live together. So we can't like uproot and like, I got to work. My wife has a restaurant with my mother-in-law. Like if and when you find the right one, they got to be like your mom. They got to understand that like racing's your business. But yeah, like we're extremely proud of both our kids. Like it is very cool to talk racing with people. And to be honest with you, a lot of our friends follow like our kids along and follow his journey through racing, like because everything's out there on social media now. But it is very cool to see him chase something that like I said, our families like have done our whole lives. Like, so to have one, since Steve nobody would be more prouder than him than Steve, like, because that's all he knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. And I would imagine when paths cross, when Stevie and Lawton run into each other, that's probably kind of cool, maybe. But I don't know if they cross a lot. There seem to be in opposite ends of what's going on right now.
Well, so it's funny you bring that up. So when he worked with Tanner, like Lawton would stay with Stevie and Nikki for the most part. Like they have a spare room and they got dogs because Stevie has, I don't know how many dogs. It's a lot. But like they were just out in Oklahoma to run them high limit races. So Lawton left Shane and Jet stay at the motel, and Lawton went to Stevie's and stayed for the whole week. So like him and Stevie like palled around on their scooters, like because Stevie has 4 shops out there that they manufactured. Him and Nikki, like they work at home. Like they have 4 shops they manufacture. They have a storeroom. They have a warehouse. Like there's people out there. It's amazing. Like if you guys ever get out to Chili Bowl, you definitely need to stop there because it's something else. But so anyway, like him and Lawton are like, it's like old times when he lived out there. Like they take the dogs for a ride on the golf cart. They're riding around their scooters. Like they're like, again, they're like the son that Stevie never had, or two brothers just out there like rubbing elbows again. Like you haven't seen each other in a while. But yeah, it's good to have a guy like Stevie that on your side, because I know Lawton talks to him more than I know that they do, which is good because Stevie is very, very, very smart. He's seen it. He's done it. He's done the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like he's been around it. Like it's Lawton's in a very good situation. He's surrounded by good people. He was raised by in a family that knows what racing's all about. Like it's kind of cool. Like it is. Like when I'm done with you guys, we'll go watch their races a little bit. They're running their last races tonight, and then they go to that Skagit. That young boy Jet Barnes is going to drive it up there. He's a hell of a little race car driver. He's got a lot of talent.
Yeah. Any chance that Corey Day's going to be running this race that you know by chance? That was just asked by Todd Fritz.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, when I say unfortunately, they said NASCAR is their priority. Like,
right,
they're in Sonoma on Saturday, and I think they could have came, but they weren't going to put on their schedule and then take it off. You know what I mean? So
right.
The plan is he's not to be here unless something were to change. You know, because we're actually picking up our son at the airport on Saturday. He's coming in for it, and then he'll go back out Wednesday. But yeah, I was hoping even to get Jet here in that car because he's been pretty damn good too.
Yeah, it's going to be right in the mix there.
Yeah.
But
what I was going to ask you, you can do this off air, is send me the picture of the list of sponsors, because we'll put a post up at some point.
Oh yeah,
with that list, because if anybody's watching, I know there's people watching, but if people that are watching, that list of 70 is. It reminds me of like the old phone book when you want to buy or go do something or find somebody to do something.
That's true.
We need to go support. We need to go support those 70 vendors.
This is what it looks like.
There they are. So
yeah, it's a list.
If we're going, it's the list of going, hey, I need to do this or need to buy that or I need to go get one of these. There's the list you buy it from right there. So we need to make sure.
Like I said, there's so many things on here. It is. Yeah, it really is. And I mean, I'm proud to have them all on board. We made some flyers up. Like when I drive up and down the road, Chad has an auto glass place up here. And Brandy laughs because she didn't see it, but I know what I'm looking for. I saw the sign in their window from the road. And like the golf course has it in there, the restrooms at the golf course, like the golf course doesn't like support racing. Well, the hell they don't. Right here it says they do. You know what I mean? Like they definitely do. They support racing. If they back up with Lincoln Speedway, they definitely support racing because right there it is to prove it. You know what I mean? I'm very proud of it.
I walked into H&H Excavating, their truck shop, Friday on my way to New Oxford, and I see the sign hanging on their bulletin board right inside the door, and I went,
perfect. Yep.
Wait a minute. And H&H is obviously a sponsor of a few cars in our area, but they're obviously a sponsor of this race as well. So just super cool to see in the local community.
Sponsored me for many, 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 many years. But it's cool to see, like when Mike said he wanted it, because they actually have Speeweek Saturday. But like I said, when I approached Mike about this race, he says, we want to be involved with that race too. And I was like, it's perfect. Because like I said, he gave us a lot of money over the years in my parents' car and Floyd's car. Like, he was a pretty big sponsor of ours for a really long time. It is neat when like people say they saw the flyer. That's what we want. You know what I mean? That's what we want.
Yeah, I took a picture of it. I have it on my phone. A picture I took of their flyer in their shop. Super cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I completely lost what I was going to say. Thank you. No, this is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, the sponsor. I'll email you a sponsor list. Actually, Jeremy, shoot me your email, and I'll send you one in the morning when I get to the office here, because this is just I'll send you a hard copy so you have it. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. If people read over them, it's a lot on there. It really is. It's kind of cool. You know what I mean? I expect a good car count. I hope the fans, like I said, if anyone has questions, they can reach out to me directly. Like I put my phone number on everything. Like if they can track me down. Hopefully fans like the shirts that they're out. If Brandy's taking orders for shirts all the time, if anyone has it, like I said, if there's questions from drivers or anybody, race teams or fans, I'd be happy to answer them. It's 100%.
Yeah, and if people can reach out, I have a way to get a hold of Brian and that
Yep.
crew. If anybody has any questions about the shirts or where to get them or
Yep.
whatever the case may be, people can reach out and definitely get you to the right place. I cannot wait for this race. I can't wait to see the shirts, the stands full of these shirts and the colors. Um, I Yeah, I was a Stevie Smith fan growing up. We talked about that the other day. He was my first favorite driver as a kid and all the way through his career. All the cars, didn't matter which one. I have multiple Stevie cars around my house in different
Yep.
variations. I have a little, die-cast trailer of the 19.
Yep.
This is awesome. I cannot. This is probably going to be one of my favorite races of the year, if not the favorite race of the year for sure. So, thank you
Yeah,
for
we
being
look
here.
forward
Thank you
to
for
it.
taking the time. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. I literally never spoke a word to you until like this last week, and
Yeah.
I'm an idiot for never actually reaching out to you before this. So shame on
No, and
me.
like I said,
Um,
when you asked me, it's a no brainer. Like anyone that knows me well enough, like I knew we'd be talking until whenever we were done. Like I don't like if it's something I like if it's we're talking about racing, I'll talk about it until way past my bedtime. Let's put it that way.
Same. This is what we do every Monday, way past my bedtime for sure. So, man, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Look forward to
thank you.
seeing you here in the next couple of weeks. And let's go. Let's wait a minute. I have to ask you this. One last question. If you had to pick one person to win that race, who would be your pick to win that race?
I definitely can't answer that question.
You're
I
going to
can't.
make too many people mad.
Yeah, I mean, I really like. I can't even. There's so many. There's so many drivers that like I'm consider myself friends with. I mean, I would definitely be in the doghouse if I didn't bring up Dylan. He rents from my mother-in-law. Dylan Norris rents across the driveway here. Like I couldn't even. Man, I can't like. I think a guy like if Jude could win 50,000, it's not impossible, but it'd be tough. I'm
Jude,
consider
Jude,
myself friends with
Jude,
all of them.
Jude
Like
won.
I got to tell you, if, like so as a favorite, I would think the 27 is a favorite. He's a two-time winner. Like I'm going to hit the guys that have won the race before. Like Danny and Freddie have to be your three favorites now because they've won the race before. But then I go back to like the 1A and the 1S have both won at Lincoln before too. That car's beat the Outlaws at Lincoln. So I don't have anybody in mind that I would like to see win as whoever wins the race. Like I'm good friends with Joe and Nick up there at Macri's. Like whoever wins, I know they're going to appreciate the purse. I know they're going to be thankful that they won 50,000, whether it's a guy that's never won a race at Lincoln or whether it's a guy that's working on his 15th or 30th. Like, I think it's going to be a success. I think the racers are going to be happy with it. Like I said, there's other things going on that will get taken care of over the next couple weeks. And it's only to make it better. Like it'd be good. And I see that like even Chase Dietz, like he has a lot of big races to win in his career. Like, and this isn't a crown jewel, but it's a damn crown jewel of Speeweek. Like it is. Like it's going to be one of the
very
bigger
much
races
so.
in Pennsylvania for a while. Like not shading on the Weikert and like our big races because the Weikert is a true event that they just keep doing every year. And like this is going to be a crown jewel for Pennsylvania and that's what we were after. Like we wanted to make something to be proud of.
I wouldn't even begin to guess what Jude would buy if he won $50,000. Like I couldn't even, knowing him the little bit I do, I can't even imagine what he would do with that. So that could be terrifying. Dad would
It
have
could
to
be
step in
terrifying.
there
Yeah,
for sure.
it definitely could be. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
we
man.
look
Thank
forward
you
to
so
seeing
much.
everybody. Like I said, if anybody has a question, you just make sure they, like I said, reach out to you and we can definitely get answers for them for sure. Look forward to it. We're very,
Awesome.
very, very excited. Got to, like I said before the show started, we got all the hardware delivered today. We have 2 winners trophies out here. That's Smith titanium hardware in it. We got the second and third out here. Like we're ready to go. Like it's every day is closer and closer.
I remember what I was going to say earlier. This reminds me of some of the prizes and things. If people remember the manufacturer's night giveaway race at Lincoln that they always had at the end of the year, this has some of the, yes, that one.
Yep.
This has vibes of that with some of the hard parts and the things that the suppliers and vendors
and like I
have
always
donated.
appreciated that race. Like I won that race, and like I knew Hank. mostly when he was sicker. But Denise has been friends of ours forever. Haven't seen her in a while, but like I always liked that. That's where that chunk came from. Like that chunk there is a resemblance of the Hank race, which was always very, very, very cool. Like it was appreciated as a driver, and it was cool. Drivers got a chance to interact with the fans for a minute. Like, yeah, I think that was always kind of neat.
Yeah, the fan interaction of it, that there was never a driver that walked up and was grateful for whatever it was. Like
100%. Yep.
no matter how fake or genuine it felt like they actually were like, thank you. Like this is
100%.
rare. This is
I agree
unique.
with that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. Brian, thanks again for the time. Enjoy every minute of this if you can that day. I'm sure you won't be able to, but we appreciate your time here and can't wait to be at that one. Have a good night.
Yep, sounds great. Like I said, text me your email and I'll send you that list in the morning for sure. Thank you guys. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
That's awesome. To him just listen to, like, I knew, okay, 50,000 to win. And then I didn't realize it was almost $2,000 to start, and then how it pays through. And then he just kept going through more and more. And it was like, man, there's so much there. There's no reason why teams and fans should absolutely be supporting that race. There's no reason for them not to.
Yeah, and add into it a Speedweek race, and add into it, it's a one division. It's Speedweek. It's Monday night. It's the summer. I mean, good Lord. Like, what more could you ask for? I got to be honest.
Yeah, and with it being a Monday night, I think it gives them an opportunity to bring in some national guys. It's going to be tough for some to do, but I think you're gonna see a really strong field. Might be the strongest of the entire week, to be honest.
I don't know. That might be tough, but I think it'll be really good.
Yeah, it'll be close. Yeah,
because like 1,900 to start, that means a lot to a small team.
Yes. So that's definitely gonna be one to watch. That's 2 Mondays from now, not next Monday, but the Monday after. That'll be the Monday Speed Week race. So make sure you guys get there if you can. If not, I know it'll be streamed as well. But make sure you support that event. Great things that they're doing there for that event. Very excited for it. All right, so I am going to share my screen here. I didn't have time to do an entire graphic thing, so we're just going to kind of go off on my race pass here. Going over the events of the weekend. Williams Grove rained out Friday. Bedford rained out Sunday, unfortunately.
Rained out. That's funny. Williams Grove rained
out. But we did still have a race on Friday night up at Clinton County. This is a third 410 race that they added this year, where Ryan Smith picked up the win over Mike Thompson, Michael Bauer, Carmen Perigo, and Matt Tebbs, your top 5. Billy Dietrich, Chris Freik, Spencer Burley, Tyler Esch, and Dale Schweikert, your top 10. Good win for Ryan Smith here. Impressive P2 here for Mikey Thompson. You were up there. You made the trek all the way up there. Wasn't a huge car count, kind of a disappointing car count, but how was the racing action despite that?
It was different from what I remember, and from what I remember watching on streams of this from when I was there in 2024. This track had all the grip you could ever want, and it was fast. And it got a little slicked off on entry at the feature, and guys kind of moved to the bottom. But it was neat to see this place have grip and fast, and try guys to figure out how to make that work. So it was different, but small car count was pretty disappointing. I got to be honest. Like, I think a lot of it was timing. Guys that maybe they had cars together and could have, but they thought about it and they were like, it was just one of them, like, do we have to kind of things. But I think it did some other things, though. Michael Bauer, he could have easily gone to Lernerville, came in here, had a good run. Carmen Perigo Jr., I haven't personally got to see him run a wing car yet. It was fun. He drove it like a wingless car. I was there for it. And I think he ran up front. You could see the leaders. Matt Tebbs, I didn't know that name. He did a hell of a nice job. I mean, did a hell of a nice job with that race car. We know Billy and Chris. Spencer Burley. One of these, that's the New York guy. The 21 came
Yeah.
down from New York. I believe the 15T was his first race in a 410, the Matt Tebbs guy. I want to say it was
I
the
thought I
first
saw
time in a
that as
410.
well.
I couldn't, those two I had mixed up. Spencer Burley came down from Hilton, New York. Tyler Eshe in the 19 went quick time. We know Dale Schweikert. He had 305. He was there. Dylan Sisney brought his 5 car out. So like it was a unique, different field. Yeah, the car count was small, and I was disappointed like everybody else in that. But I didn't feel like when I left that I was missing something. I still think this had what I was looking for when I went there, no matter the track conditions being different than what I remember. Um, I For the trip it was and the long ass night it was, I still enjoyed my time with this. I had a great time, and that place is fun for taking pictures. It's fun to watch those guys try to navigate around that lot of traffic, and it was narrow. Um, I had a great time. I got to be honest.
Yeah,
I was entertained.
I did hear the track was a little juiced up. I saw somebody post a clip of Garrett Bard doing really hard wheelie on the start. I think of the feature.
Monster, like on the freaking tail tank push
Yeah.
bar wheelie. Like I thought it broke when it landed, and it still might have because he ended up crashing pretty hard, like I don't know, 10 laps in maybe off turn 4. I can't believe the car stayed together as hard as it came down.
Yeah.
Like it was one of the biggest wheelies I've seen in person my whole life. And I watched it with my 2 eyes. I didn't have my damn camera up in front of me because I wanted to like watch the start. Shame on me because it would have been a badass picture. But I'll remember it. I'll remember watching it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, this is happening, and it was like straight up wild.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh my god. Garrett Bard did end up having a pretty bad night. He was probably going to be your favorite. He did start on the pole. And his feature just kind of went from bad to really, really bad in a couple laps.
Yeah.
Like you said. You got some really good pictures, by the way. That sunset there off the backstretch looked awesome.
It was great. And dude, the timing though was so bad. They had basically intermission as it was there, and I'm standing there going, we're going to lose this. We're going to lose it. Let's go. Give me some race cars. And some micros had some really good pictures. Some of the front wheel drive cars had some good ones there. But once the feature got going, the kind of the color went away, and I did other things. But that I remember that from 2024, the sunset was really good behind there, off the backstretch.
It's very scenic around there. It doesn't get enough credit for that.
Yeah, correct. If you've never been there, you got to go. You got to go up there, make the trip. I don't care if it's 410s or not. Go up there and just you're not going to be short on things to see. Let's put it that way. Sunsets, trees, hills. Everyone that drives a 4-wheeler has to wear a helmet. The crowd is a very diverse, unique crowd of people, of humans that gather at that place. You're not going to be short on something to see. You might
have some Amish sitting around
might.
because we had that one night. We had Ask Andrew May. He made some good friends with some Amish people.
Oh God!
But
yeah, it's something.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I was gonna say was like even with the 15 cars, I can't imagine you left. Anybody could leave disappointed seeing them go there. I think the posse races are gonna do really well there. You'll obviously have a better car count. I think part of it too is like because something that you used to see with this 410 race, the 410 races at Clinton County was a lot of these 305 guys would rent a motor usually, or just run their 305 or 358 because the track would get so slick. That it would you didn't need all that power necessarily to be competitive if you knew how to get around the place, and we've seen that with some people. But now it sounds like a lot more. They're like renting them for a couple because it's only a couple races, and so hopefully we see the other 2 Posse Series races that are going up there. With I think you'll have obviously full fields, and it'll be great for the fans up that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Dakota might even see a tornado too. Yeah, we saw a tornado in the distance that one time. That was crazy. Clinton County is always fun. Was glad to be able to spend my birthday there with some familiar faces. Happy birthday, Kirsten. Mandy said Clinton County is fun. Wish it wasn't 3 hours away from me. Beautiful drive up there though, for sure. Any other closing thoughts from Clinton County?
No, not really. It was fun. I had a great time. Just good
And
stuff.
you ended up being on your predictions. Then you picked Ryan Smith. So
I got Ryan
you
Smith right
got
on that
one.
one. Listen, he did a great job, drove hard, it worked. But the other impressive was Mike Thompson. He did a hell of a nice job. I mean, he passed a lot of race cars. That car looked really good. I made sure I gave him a little fist bump and they did a little they did top three interview. He did a hell of a nice job. It was probably one of the better runs I've seen Mikey have. And they needed a good run.
Yeah,
It's been a
yeah. He's
trying
been
couple years. So I think as he's learned and getting into this 410 deal. So that was fun to see.
and shout out for Carmen Barrago for going out there. Like man, of course, one time I'm not going up to Clinton County. He goes out, makes a choice to go run there. Getting some comments in here. I'm not sure what I know. All
Um,
Stars Ohio Speed Week's going on at Wayne County, and they're
it sounds like
taking
a
the
bad
cars off
wreck.
the track. Bad wreck.
Yeah, they're red flagged. I don't see cars on the racetrack. Sounds like somebody's pretty banged up there in that B. I have it on here beside me, and I don't have volume on, but yeah, it doesn't sound
Yeah.
great.
All right. Well, hopefully, whatever happened there, everybody's okay. But we're gonna move on to Lincoln on Saturday. You were at Lincoln on Saturday, right? Yeah.
I
Um,
was.
Freddie Raymer got the win over Tyler Ross, Kyle Moody, Dylan Norris, and JJ lost your top five. Jordan Givler, P6, Brandon Raymer, Matt Campbell, Billy Dietrich, and Chris Arnold, top 10. Good win for Freddie. There's
Mhm.
obviously always some discourse on the internet whenever Freddie wins. It's crazy. Tyler Ross, great run. Got to give it. Dylan's good to see Dylan Norris. He hasn't really been running lately. I know they had motor issues, right? So good to see him back and get in the top five here. What were your takeaways from this race?
My takeaways are that handicapping is what we need in Central Pennsylvania. Not every week, okay, but it has to shift back the other way. I know there's always going to be people that don't like it, but there's just as many that don't like time trials. And if you look at this rundown, look at where they started. It's just reversed 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You don't have 5 there. 3. Okay. Like Freddie had to pass all those other good cars to get to the lead and win. And those cars were right on him. He admitted his car wasn't that great. Kyle Moody and Tyler Ross were really good. And Freddie had to go past them to get to the lead. And they weren't they were on him. Like he made the right move in lap traffic and got away, but this was not like, hey, just ran away and got this thing. I don't know if this thing stays green the whole way. I don't know if he gets there. I really don't. Glendon Forsyth was leading this thing and looked really good and was on the cushion and he blew up. He blew up leading this race. They have a restart, puts Givler in the lead. Freddie gets him into one and goes on and does his thing. But like this thing stays green. Freddie was good, but like I'm watching this race going, I, I don't know if he gets there. Maybe it was where I was standing. I couldn't really see that well as to get there, but like handicapping, man. Like I had someone told me, I forget. I don't remember who. Forgive me. They talked about handicapping and like it's double handicap. You get handicapped in the heat and then you get handicapped in the feature. I'm wondering if we don't need to be doing either like a draw and then handicap the feature if you make it into that redraw, but the double handicap is tough. So like there's got to be a balance to this, I
A little
think,
bit,
that
yeah, a
maybe
little more
maybe we
balance.
get some other cars to the guys that bitch and complain they don't want to do handicapping. Maybe they come out for these if like, hey, maybe I get a good draw and I get myself into the handicap, and then okay, then I maybe start 12th in a feature versus me starting 10th in a heat on a track that's hard to pass, and then getting handicapped to 10th again. I got to go 10th to third to just get to start 10th in the feature. So like I get that because the heat races are where the shit happens more often than not. Features, these guys move around, they can move to the front, you have their car right. The trouble a lot of times in these handicap races happens in the heats because they got to go. Well, you can't even start the feature if your car is junk, if you're one of these fast cars. So, I think there's a happy medium to it. But at the end of the day, there's been the few handicap races we've seen in Central PA dating to the start of this year and last year have been pretty damn good. And it's hard to argue it that it's better for fans to see this kind of race because you take the best cars and you all go time trial and you put them all in the top 10 and nobody passes each other. All we saw was 30 laps of them going as fast as they can in a row. What do we got? Y'all paid your $30 to go watch the top 10 cars start in the top 10 and not go anywhere. Okay. $20 to get in, and you get to see these guys have to go past race cars all night if you're going to go win the race. Are we catering to the fans or are we catering to the teams? There's a balance. Okay. And we've made stars in Central Pennsylvania from handicapping. Why can't we do this again? Tyler Ross wins this race. Dylan Norris wins this race. JJ Loss wins this race. And now they race up front and they become the guys that are now battling Freddie every week, trying to come through the field. Freddie has to go fight them. Instead, take a guy like Freddie or Troy or Danny, and they all start in the top 7 and they run with the best cars in the area in the top 7. We didn't see any passing. Handicapping puts on better races. Sorry. You can hate it.
Yeah, I'm
It's
half
true.
and half on it. I don't know. I think there could be more. I don't think we need that many. Um, it definitely brings the faster guys from the back. But yeah, I mean, then you don't have guys show up because it's not time trials. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we need that many more handicap races, to be honest. I think we race too much in general. So, um, but I mean, not everything needs to be a time trial race either. So yeah, I agree with you that there needs to be more balance for sure to help try to make the racing a little bit better. Um, but yeah, congrats to Freddie.
So people that are watching this live and doing whatever,
Mm,
sounds like I'm getting some chats that there might have been people in the infield hit during this deal. It wasn't just a driver issue.
mm.
That's unconfirmed. I'm just reading a chat here, so I don't know what's going on. Man, prayers to whatever. Man, we don't need that.
Yeah. So keep an eye out on that and see what happens. Um, any other thoughts from Lincoln here on Saturday night? I didn't see any of this, obviously.
Yeah, no, that's fair. This was shout out to Fred Putney. This had a cushion from basically heat races on. He said he dug it up pretty deep because there was super late models, right? It was Appalachian Speeweek, and they had the premier spots. They did hot laps, then they did time trials, and there was a cushion in heat races, and it stayed and really didn't have to touch it all night. And Freddie actually talked about in an interview that it felt like Lincoln of old, that it was wide, but you could run up top, you could run the bottom, and it was slick through the middle. But like I was entertained. I didn't have to have all the best of the best of the best of the best in Central Pennsylvania at one place to see a good race. That was what I took away from this, and it's what I grew up watching. We didn't. I mean, there were guys at Port Royal doing their thing. There were guys at Lincoln doing their thing, and that's what this reminded me of. Um, you don't have to have everybody in one place at the same time to have a good race, and this was a good race. End of story.
Looking at points after that, Freddie is your point leader, 300 points up above Chase Dietz, who went to Knoxville. Tyler Ross is now third. Cam Smith, fourth. Danny Dietrich, Trey Wagaman, Logan Rumsey, Kyle Moody, Matt Campbell, and Chad Trout, your top 10. Moving on to Port Royal, Doug Hammaker gets his first 410 victory over Derek Hauk. Great run for him. P2, Logan Wagner on the podium. Dominic Miller, great run for him. Him and Doug had a good battle for a while, and him and Derek Hauk as well. Cody Lehman, Austin Bishop, Buddy Schweibens from 18th to 7th. Ryan Smith, Lance DeWeese from 19th to 9th, and Mike Thompson with backing up Friday with a solid top 10 at Port Royal. I think there were 28 cars or so. So very good run for him. But Doug Hammaker putting that 22 car in victory lane. Very, very for his first 410 victory. Congratulations to Doug. What'd you see from this one?
I got to see some highlights. I kind of had it on in my ear, but there was so much going on. I saw he won this race. Derek Houck ran a good race. It sounds like Logan Wagner was there at the end. Just looked like a slick Port Royal. You had to be on it and have it right. And I mean, look at what we had here: Lance 19th to 9th, Buddy Schweibens, man,
Mm-hmm.
18th to 7th, like passing race cars. Austin Bishop continues to have speed. The story though is Doug Hamaker, right? It's got to be J&S Classics 22 back in victory lane at Port Royal, um, where it belongs. And um, it's been a tough go for Doug. And the world is not, and Central Pennsylvania doesn't go easy on a situation like this, and they haven't. And it's kind of unfair because the expectations, when you put that yellow 22 on the racetrack, the expectations are pretty high, and that was unfair to Doug. I've always thought that. I didn't really know. I know Doug had driven a 410 in the past. Obviously, a very successful 358 race car driver. Um, but I didn't know. It's a brand new team, good equipment or not. It's a team, and we've seen it a million times. It's all got to come together. Um, but what a night for Sandy Klein. I I thought I heard that she got engaged at the
Oh, really?
racetrack or recently. Yeah, and then her car wins. Maybe someone was joking, but I swear I heard that over the freaking my earpiece at Lincoln when I was listening to this while I was at Lincoln. But as Sandy Klein continues to give back to the sport when she doesn't have to, and in big ways with sponsorships, owning a race car and putting it back out there. She loves sprint car racing, loves Central Pennsylvania, so we should be thankful for Sandy Klein. Like, good grief, and
Yes.
congrats to Doug Hamaker for sure.
Yeah, highlights looked awesome. Really, really good race. Um, he absolutely stuck it on the outside. I think it was Dominic Miller that he passed on the outside. Just threaded it in there, and then he was gone. And then I think it was Miller and Houck that were battling it out back and forth, and it closed. Lehman in, Bishop, Logan Wagner. They were all kind of tightly there at the end of the race, battling it out. Um, just looked like an awesome surface. Get you fired up for some Port Royal. Going through the rest of the standings here. It's good to see Devin Adams back out. Um, TJ Stutz went 22nd to 14th. Yeah, just a good one for Doug Hammaker. Uh, Points from Port Royal. Ryan Smith now leads the point standings, 75 points over Lance DeWeese. Then only 85 points over Logan Wagner. Doug Hammaker is now fourth. Brock Zierfoss, Buddy Schweibens, TJ Stutz, Austin Bishop, Chase Dietz, and Cody Lehman in your top 10. And that was it for the weekend of racing here. Any other thoughts before we move on to the week ahead?
Let's move on to the week ahead. It's 9:45. Let's go.
Heard that. Eastern Storm Week. It's here. USAC. Sprint cars coming into Central PA here. Grandview tomorrow night. Bridgeport Wednesday night. Big Diamond Thursday. Williamsgrove Friday. Then the big show on Saturday. Not only do you get the USAC sprint cars, but you also have USAC Silver Crown at Port Royal on Saturday. And then they close it all out at Action Track USA in Kutztown on the 21st. So always look forward to this one. Always try to make it out to at least one or two races. I think I'm going to do Big Diamond and probably Port. Granted, weather stays good. Maybe Williamsgrove too. I don't know, but I'll be tuning in for sure. It's always awesome seeing them come around here and see what they got going on. So Williamsgrove on Friday. Obviously USAC. We'll also have 410s there, so it should be a good show. Both type of winged and wingless 410s. Can't beat that. General admission $30. Everything starts at 7 o'clock. Lincoln on Saturday, they have the Kramer Clash PA Speedweek tune-up, 410 sprint cars and 358 sprint cars. There will be time trials. Racing starts at 7 p.m. on Saturday. And then, like I said, at Port Royal, you got the 3 divisions. You got 410 sprint cars, you got USAC sprint cars, and you got USAC Silver Crown. Always love this show. It can be a long one, but it's always worth it. $30 to get in. There is camping for the weekend, and everything starts at hot laps are starting at 6 p.m. Racing to start at 7. So look forward to. I mean, you're gonna have guys doing double duty between both USAC divisions. Who knows what else you see. I would imagine Chase Dietz would be running. I didn't hear anything officially, but I would imagine he's running the Silver Crown car. He's been running the past few years, unless that deal is no more. But that'll be interesting to see because he's been really good there in the Silver Crown car. And with the heater that he's on in the 23 is crazy. So it should be pretty interesting. And I think that, and then Sunday is, I forgot to make a tab. Sunday's also Path Valley. PA Posse Series goes to Path Valley on Sunday, or what we like to call it Perigo Valley, because Brett Perigo, again, by the way, won again. Shout out to him on Saturday. Another win in the Wingless Sportsman division there. So PA Posse Sprint Cars go to Perigo Valley on Sunday as well. So you got 3 days of 410 sprint cars, plus you got USAC Eastern Storm here. And it all leads into which next week will be PA Speed Week.
So I'm hearing this Wayne County deal, and a third car apparently went in the infield, hit 3 people, and multiple helicopters have been requested.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, not
That's
good.
not good. Not good at all. Ugh, tough deal,
Yeah.
but hopefully we get some good news out of there and everybody ends up being okay, but we will see. Yeah, I'm excited for all the racing though this weekend here in PA. Weather looks pretty good for the most part. Maybe some rain a little bit Wednesday, Thursday. Nothing crazy. Cooler this week. Thursday looks warm, but maybe it's some thunderstorms. Damn, I don't want to see a big time I get rained out. I want to get up there. But otherwise, the rest of the week looks really, really good and not too warm. So, high limit. Rico Abreu won Eagle Nationals last week. Had a lot of World of Outlaws here. You see Gravel, Williamson, Hodenshield, Buddy Kofoid, Spencer Baston, Corey Day, Carson Macedo, Ryan Timms, and Kyle Larson were your top 10. What a hell of a top 10. Casey Kane, Brett Marks up at 12. Big payday for Rico. It seems like when the most competition is there is when Rico's the fastest. But it seems like when it's like a regular high limit night, Rico finds a way to disappear. I don't know if that
it's wild right
weird.
now.
So, but I do think they're starting to get some momentum and be a little more consistent, as the points will show here in a minute. As we're getting into the meat of the season here in the summer. And then Shelby County, right? That's what they're.
Yep.
Yeah. Shelby County Speedway in Iowa. Tanner Holmes getting the win over Brett Marks, Tyler Courtney, Kerry Matson, Kyle Larson, Aaron Reitzel, Giovanni Selzy, Brenham Crouch, JJ Hickle, and Jason Pursley, your top 10. Congratulations to Tanner Holmes getting the win. He's been very strong lately. He got a quick time a couple nights or like last week, I think, and has been showing steady improvement in that 13 car, and finally gets a win here. Knocks one off.
Yeah, it was impressive. He had the best car. That thing had so much good forward drive in it. He tried to ruin this and wreck the car leading, but he did a hell of a job, and this is great for the sport. This is great for the sport with his following and what's going on. And a guy like him getting a win is only positive. It's only a good thing.
Yeah, 100%. I was wrong last week. I thought they were going to Big Sky Speedway this last weekend. It's 2 weekends from now. not this weekend either. So I had that wrong last week in our thing. So they go to Big Sky Speedway June 26th and June 27th out in Montana, and then they're also off after that then. So little bouncing around on their schedule a little bit. They have off right now till the 26th next weekend. They have a double there, and then they have off again until Eldora week. And then looking at the points, Rico Abreu has a 9-point lead now over Aaron Reitzel. Giovanni Selzy is third, and Tanner Thorson, who was just leading this point series, the point standings here in the series not that long ago, is down to fourth. Still running decent, but having some struggles here lately. Tyler Courtney sixth, Tyler Courtney fifth, Justin Peck sixth, Kerry Madsen seventh, Brett Marks with the sudden resurgence too, having a lot of really, really good runs. He's brought his way up to eighth, only 1 point behind Kerry Madsen. And it's Tanner Holmes and Dason Pursley rounding out the top 10. Speaking of Brett Marks, Friday night. They got rained out on Saturday. Friday night, Brett Marks with the World of Outlaws at Knoxville gets the win over Sheldon Hodenshield, Logan Schuart, David Gravel, Aaron Reitzel, Tyler Courtney, Kyle Larson, Brandon Crouch, Buddy Kofoid, and Carson Macedo. I did not expect this, to be honest. I know Brent's been good there at Knoxville, don't get me wrong, and with how good he's been running. But congratulations to him and pulling out this victory.
And eighth to first, I didn't even realize he started eighth. I thought he started in the front row of this thing. I just now saw eighth. I didn't even know that. So, wow, he's had some good runs at Knoxville. Did have he has one win at Knoxville before, but not a guy with this field you would have been like, hey, that's a potential winner. But man, that speed that he's had lately is real for sure.
Does look like Rico led 18 laps here, and I think so. He brought out that last yellow with 4 to go. Cole Macedo was your hard charger, going from 25th to 12th, so pretty good run for him. But yeah, congratulations to Brent. Good run, good win. And then looking at their schedule, it is Huset's Hustle week. The Highback Nationals this weekend. You got the Huset's Hustle Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday will be the Highback Nationals. A lot of money up for grabs there. They're going up right against Dirt Cup at Skagit. So it looks like that high limit field is going to be kind of split between the two. I think most of them will probably be at Skagit, to be honest. But you're still going to get a lot of money here up for grabs. You're going to see a lot of cars out there. Should be a good show. Yeah, and that's really it. I don't have the point standings up. David Gravel's still leading. Nothing else you need to know there. Yeah, and then I don't really have anything else. Any other thoughts, Jay-Z?
Nope. No other thoughts. Brain is empty. I'm brain dead.
I'm the same way right now. Had a blast at Pocono. Denny Hamlin getting the win there yesterday. Awesome. Great time all weekend. Saturday was incredible. I never seen a Saturday crowd there that big in the grandstands on Saturday for the O'Reilly race, and it felt like a Sunday show with all the fans that were there, and always a great time up at Pocono. We had a great time. Actually got to meet Dale Jr. and Corey LaJoy a little bit. Not like they going around signing autographs. They signed our big red cock. But they were pretty cool. Corey LaJoy was kind of playful with us, being doofuses behind him on the Prime broadcast. If you go back and watch the Prime post race, you can see me in the background. I should have brought a T2T banner with me. Missed opportunity there. Drink it, dump it. Magby already has one. Drink it to Doug winning his first 410, and my birthday today, along with Brian Clausen. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Magby. And dump it to the accident in Ohio. Currently, prayers to the drivers involved. Yes, for sure. I think that would be. I should have been wearing that. That's all. That's obvious. I think that's going to be cover our drinkets for probably both of us. Is this situation going on at Wayne County right now? And I will drink it to. I don't know. Just a great weekend and all around. I'm sorry, I'm like a zombie right now.
Yeah, I'll just dump it to what's going on in Ohio. We'll leave it there. It's easy to drink it to the winners. Doug Hammaker, that's pretty, good for them for sure. But man, this deal in Ohio, we don't want to see this at racetracks. This is
No.
not great. So it's the last place we should want to. It's a dangerous thing, and we know that. But people were there to be entertained and enjoy their night, not this kind of stuff. So it sucks. I'll just dump it there.
Drink it to Tanner Holmes, first W, not dumping today. Like that one. Thank you, Bradley.
That's a very
Andy.
California answer. California guy, resident answer there. Fair enough.
Drink it, Clinton County, not canceling on Friday. Weekend winners, especially Ryan Smith, Marks, Tanner Holmes, first high limit win, Doug Hammaker, Ryan Timms, and Jet Barnes. Dump it to Garrett Bard, Williams Grove canceling, whatever is happening at Wake County right now. Drink it, Brian Leppo and crew for the Smith race, says Mitch Bodine. Yes, and thank you, Brian. Definitely big drink it to Brian for coming on and talking about a lot of things with us here tonight. That was a lot of fun. And got everybody really fired up for this race coming up in 2 weeks. Brent Shue, drink it to Clinton County, getting some 410 action in, and Supers at Lincoln. Oh, I forgot about that. Right, Greg Satterley won that. Right on Saturday night. And then
what? Yes, yeah. It was a good race actually. It ended up around the bottom, but that was a good race. The whole night was good with those cars. It was what I was expecting. It was fun. Man, time trials. They were absolutely repping into turn one. I did the flag stand for time trials.
Yeah.
Going away down into dude, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Rick Statter looked pretty good. He's only has a few starts in the super lates. He looked pretty. I know I saw him at Selinsgrove with the World of Outlaw late models. Then he came out for this, and I believe I saw that he won a heat race. And you got a pretty cool picture of him in time trials too.
Unbelievable. Like it shouldn't. Yeah, it was awesome.
And Brent Shue also says, dump it to nobody's calling racers nobodies. Yes. Drink it, Santos. Drink it to was that Devin Borden for having a great run at Sharon. Dump it to a lot of fans having a lack of financial understanding, business operations, and what's going on. And what's going on in Wayne County. Honorable mention, as always, to you guys for another great show. Thank you again. Yeah. So obviously, we're all kind of paying attention here. What's going on in Wayne County? Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks again, Brian Leppo, for coming on and talking about it. You won't be here next week, Jay-Z.
I will not be here.
You'll be soaking up the sun.
I'll be in a lot of it.
But plan is to have Chris on, and we're gonna take a look at our preseason picks. So Chris will make his return for the, huh?
Oh boy, be nice to me. I don't know what I did.
Yeah, well, I'll have to go through them and we'll get some opinions on that. So we're gonna revisit that and see how dumb we were. And we'll have Chris on to talk about it as well. And then the week after that will be, as of now, Steve Smith tribute race. So we will not have a show then, but we'll keep you posted on our schedule around Speed Week. If there's a rain out one night or something, maybe we'll pop on and do something quick. But
if not, I won't see your asses in like 3 weeks from now. So
it'll be like 3 weeks.
Go get to a damn race somewhere or multiple.
Go get to the racetrack. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good night.